Welcome to day 6 here at the Betfred World Snooker Championship. As far as the men's draw is concerned, this is the end of the first round and the beginning of the second. The drive for the quarter-finals begins in earnest. And the first Thursday of every championship also happens to be Ladies' Day, and there's tons going on behind me in the Winter Gardens.
Well, we've had about 10 to 15 lady players from all over the world. We've had who were competing last week in Leeds in the World Championships. We've had players from Russia, Germany. We've also had a player from Australia, and basically they've been competing in the 60-second challenge. They've been doing team relays. They've been doing some coaching. They're now playing against members of the public. They've been doubles, 6 red doubles frames, and basically just getting the lady players involved and promoting ladies snooker.
Oh, superb. Who's won the 60-second challenge? That's one that the journos always love playing. Right. Who's won that one?
I think we had a tie actually. We had a top score of 6. But we've also had a couple of girls from the Paul Hunter Foundation here as well. They've been doing really well, and the one girl actually potted 4 colours in 3 shots.
You're flying the flag for the female game in Australia, and the more success you get and the more high profile Neil Robertson becomes, then the bigger snooker's going to be in Australia.
Yeah, for sure. After I won the world title, I won the 121s ladies title and went to a tournament in Tasmania, and I was on the news and the radio and things like that. So it does get a little press, but no one in Australia knows who Neil Robertson is. He can walk down the street in Melbourne, where he's from, and no one would even have a clue how well he's done in the sport, you know. So it's a bit of a shame, because you get people like tennis players. Leighton Hewitt could not walk down the street in Australia, and he hasn't done as much in tennis as Neil's done for snooker.
Certainly not in recent years, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a bit of a shame, really. But it's great he won the world title. We got a tournament in Bendigo now, so that, you know, it's ever growing.
The publicity around Reanne Evans and that 10-8 defeat to Ken, a great effort by her. That was everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, she's shown that she's more than capable of competing, you know, on the main tour. And of course, the other positives being through the Q Zone into Schools project. The figures that we've had from that, there's actually 40% of players are actually girls. So that's come through the Schools project that we've launched 2 years ago.
Do you think snooker has the chance to grow in Russia, in the women's game and the men's?
Yes, I think yes, because Russian people like learning, and they're not lazy. But now lady snooker most popular.
More popular than the men's game?
Yeah, because we have a champion. Yes.
You know, in the next 20 years, we could realistically see a woman as part of the 128 tour.
I think you'll see more than one, to be honest. I think it's becoming a lot more popular, and particularly if it comes into the Olympics, then I think it will really, definitely there'll be 2 or 3 coming through without a doubt. And I mean, particularly from overseas as well. It's really, the ladies' game over there as well is very, very popular.
Well, as far as women's snooker is concerned, there's one name that always springs to mind. 10-time world champion Reanne Evans, who generated so much publicity when she narrowly lost to the former world champion Ken Doherty 10-8 in the first round of the qualifiers here at Ponds Forge. We caught up with her earlier in the championship. Let's take a few moments to look back at that epic match against Ken. I kept following it online and couldn't believe it. It was getting closer and closer and closer. Your phone must have been going nuts in the lead up to that match. It was such high profile for the women's game.
Yeah, my phone never stopped. I had to charge it like 3 or 4 times a day, travel up there, down there, do interviews on the phone and everything. No, it didn't stop for like a week and a half. It was crazy. I felt like I'd already won the title, let alone just being in the first round of the qualifiers. But I was really happy with my performance against Ken. I had him twitching a little bit and nearly got over the line, but look at the Irish in the end.
Well, and actually, that's a horror draw for Ken, because OK, yes, he won the match, but that's almost a no-win situation. Everyone's expecting him to win, and then if he doesn't, it causes him, a little bit of grief on the tour.
Yeah, well, he said before, I don't think anybody's ever been in that situation, first round qualifiers against a woman, and I was so close. I was gutted. I think that's the most gutted I've ever been, because obviously before that you'd have taken that result beforehand, but when you're playing, it's a totally different story. And I'm just happy that I proved myself and that I could play without playing my best game.
Well, as we've already seen here on Ladies' Day, Rianne Evans is no longer flying the flag alone as far as the women's game is concerned. And the lady who beat her in the semi-finals, en route to taking her title, Ng On Yee, has also been here to celebrate and commemorate in Sheffield. Congratulations. Did you think that you might have a chance this year?
I haven't think that much. I just be ready for this tournament, and it was a tough match because I need to having to face Rianne, the 10 times world champion, and Emma Bonley, the world ladies billiards champion. I was 2-0 down in the finals, so it's been a catch-up game until I start picking up on the fifth frame. Then I start to relax a bit and play the game better.
And how much confidence did you have going into the final after beating Reanne Evans and finally bringing her great run to an end?
Actually, I felt very nervous. I was very nervous, just trying to keep myself calm and speak to my coach. Yeah, so be positive thinking. Yeah.
And do you think this might make more women in Hong Kong and across China start to play snooker?
Yeah, I hope so. I wish I could be like Rianne to get close the gap with the men's game. So I will participate more men's qualifiers. Yeah.
Well, as the newly crowned women's world champion, we thought Ng Lee brought a lot of form and confidence to the crucible, so we thought we'd put her to the test on the Betfred World Micro Snooker Championship Challenge. This is called the Micro World Championship. It's as many as you can pot in a minute. We couldn't find snooker balls, so we have to make do with pool balls. Doesn't matter if the black goes in early on, not a problem. But the key with this is, if you go in off with the white, the break's over. On Yee, your 1 minute starts now. Oh, it's all right, start again. Go on, carry on, carry on. Oof, nearly followed it in there. Go on, go on. There's a few push shots going on here, but we'll let her off. First non-British women's world champion. Oh! Almost up to halfway. Oh, she's on a roll now. Oh, so nearly going in off. Oh! Steph, you're used to getting up early for breakfast, so we're expecting you to absolutely smash this after a nice lie-in this morning. Okay, 3, 2, 1, you're live. Oh. Come on, it doesn't have to be pretty, just smash them in. Oh yeah, there's 2 down. Oh, nearly. Remember, if you go in off, the break's over. You're on a bit of a roll here, this is good. Wow. Oh, it's really addictive, this game. We've been. Oh no, we'll stick you on our leaderboard. You won't be at the top, but you definitely won't be at the bottom because it was better than Mike Ganley. Well, after those epic efforts, Mark Allen is still out top. On Yee goes into second place, 9 balls in 44 seconds. Pretty sharp there. Reanne Evans still in 4th, and Steph McGovern from BBC Breakfast slotting in to 5th place, 7 balls in 34 seconds, but the in-off cost her dearly. Well, we'll do our best to get a few more contestants for the World Micro Championship between now and the end of the tournament. After all, we've still got 11 days to go. Now back to the serious business of who made it through to the second round. Joe Perry resumed with an 8-1 lead over China's Zhang Anda last night. Anda took a few frames and did his best to get back into the match, but the gentleman, the reigning PTC Grand Final champion, sealed the win 10 frames to 4. And to a match that finished this afternoon, Judd Trump resumed with a 7-2 lead over debutant Stuart Carrington, and just like Zhang Anda, Carrington did all that he could to get back in the match. He had a couple of really good breaks, including a 97 and a 99, but it's Judd Trump who advances into the second round with a 10 frame to 6 win, and this is what he had to say after the match in the press conference.
I felt like I played some good stuff over the past couple of days. I felt very confident, didn't miss a lot, and if I can keep that up, I feel like I've got a good chance.
Now, you said a little while ago that you don't mind being one of the last of the first round matches to finish. Why is that?
You can sort of see what's going on in the tournament. It's nice to still be involved in the tournament come sort of the second week. You don't really want to go out on the first day or two, so I feel more relaxed coming in at the latter stage. You know how everyone's getting on, and you know what you have to sort of do. But now, sort of the tournament started. Now you're down to first to 13 now, so it's a long distance tournament now. So sort of the top players really fancy their chances.
So Judd Trump's aspirations for the title are still alive and well in the early stages. Now let's take a moment to focus on the beginning of the second round action. We have the first instalment of Mark Selby against Anthony McGill this afternoon. They're locked together at 4 frames all. They'll resume battle tomorrow morning. We'll also have the first part of Graham Dott against Stuart Bingham. Dott, remember, the 2006 champion. And we'll have the resumption on Friday of Ng On Yee against John Higgins. Their first instalment is this evening. It promises to be a brilliant start to the weekend, so join us tomorrow. That wraps things up here for today.